One to my video series designed to help small businesses succeed with a profitable website. My name is Ron Collins, owner of Blue Lacy SEO in El Paso, Texas. So today I'm going to show you how to create a great hero image for your website. So let's go ahead and dive in. A hero image is the image that a visitor sees the first time they're on your website. So here is an example of the hero image on my website. And many times you have text that's in front of that, overlaid on it. We're not going to get into that part today, but I do want to show you how you can put in a great hero image, because it's so important, because that's the first thing people are going to see when they're on your website. So you want to draw attention and create an impact. So how do we choose a great hero image? Now you can use your own image, which is a good solution for most cases. You want something that's going to showcase what you do as far as your type of business. And it has to be a really good image, good resolution. It really needs to zero in on the type of business you have. And you don't have to have a real professional camera to do this. Most cell phones now, smartphones, take great images. So you're going to have to fool around with that a little bit to figure out the best setting, the best lighting and so forth, whether it's outside or inside, for your hero image. The other option is use a stock image, which I'm going to show you how to do, because I'm going to use a stock image in the demonstration I'm going to show today. So where can you get stock images? Here are some of the best sites, and I'll have links to these in the description below. Stock Unlimited, Pixabay, Unsplash, Pexels, PicJumbo, Burst, which is owned by Shopify, and VidEvo, I think that's how you pronounce it. That's for a video background. So I chose and looked for a stock image, and actually I forgot which one I used. It was one of these on the selection. But this is for a fictional aerial drone photography service. So I found this great image, and I don't even know where this was taken, but it's a footbridge between two cliffs, and it was taken by a drone, it says. So I thought this would be a great image to include on the hero part of a website. So let's go into WordPress and see how to put this image into a WordPress site. Here I am at the back end of WordPress. So there's a lot of choices here on the left side, and where I'm going to go to first is Appearance and Themes. Now, if you're just starting out in WordPress, I would suggest you work from a theme. Most of the time we work with themes. We work with very basic themes, or we work with more detailed themes like templates. Now this is the theme that comes with WordPress, called the 2020 theme, very basic. This is the theme that comes with the Elementor page builder. That's the page builder I'm going to be using in this demonstration today. There's many different types of page builders. There's Divi, there's Beaver Builder. The one I use is Elementor, and this is their basic theme called the Hello theme. And then the active theme I have right now is called Astra. So I use Astra a lot. This is just a basic theme that gives you the structure, header, footer, and so forth. But we're going to choose a more specific theme called the template. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to plugins, And WordPress is made up of lots of plugins. For instance, the Elementor Page Builder is a plugin. We're going to go down to Starter Templates. This is for the Astra theme. And we're going to go to C Library. And this has a whole library of themes, many of which are free themes. The ones that say agency are actually, if you sign up for a paid account, which I have the agency theme account, so I can use these themes or the free themes. And they have hundreds of these. And they're really nice themes for all types of different services, businesses, and so forth. So the one I'm going to be using is called the Mountain theme. Well, my demo website is not going to be about mountains. It doesn't really matter. This is just a theme where everything is already set up for you. You can go in here and you can change these images. You can change the way the text is, the layout. This is the basic structure. So I've already installed this. Save time. So here's the mountain theme. This is the hero image. And we have some text in front of it. I'm not going to go over about changing the text. That could be for another video. But this is their hero image. And then there's some other images and things below. But we're going to be concerned about the hero image. And I'm going to show you how to change this, what the settings are, and so forth. What's interesting about this hero image is that we also have a logo and a menu up here. And this menu, the way this is set up, this is a transparent menu, so the image goes right up into the header, and this is overlaid on top. So it has to be a contrast in color here. That's why this is white. So let me show you how this was set up. This is the Elementor section here where you can edit. And we're in what we call a section. Here's where we can edit the section. We can add another section above this, or we can delete this section. So when you click on these 6 dots here, this will go into the edit section area. Otherwise, you have this area in Elementor. These are the widgets or the elements that you can use, like a heading, an image, text editor, a button, a video. There's all sorts of things you can add to your website using this. So we'll go back here and we'll go to edit. And this is the layout. Now the way they have it set up for this image is the content width is boxed. The choices are boxed or full width. Columns gap, that refers to the column here, which we're not going to be messing with. Then it says height. We have a choice between default, fit the screen, or minimum height. Now, you may be confused about what default is. This defaults to your global settings, and I'll see if I can go over that with you also about what the global settings are. And these are the other choices. Now they have it set to minimum height, and it says 100. So let me go over what that means. And they have some choices here. This is small, but it says PX, VH, or VW. So let me explain exactly what those mean. All right. Basically, you have 2 types of units. You have absolute units, which are the pixels, or PX. That's one selection you can make. Pixels are absolute units. The PX unit is fixed and does not change relative to any other unit. Using PX can cause potential problems with responsive devices, such as tablets and phones. So whatever screen size you're using to create this, I'm creating this on a laptop. You could be using a very large monitor on a desktop. You could be using a smaller device like a tablet, and there's even a phone size which is even smaller. So these units are more fixed, so they don't respond to responsive devices. So PX is a good choice if you have elements that are not being resized. Okay, then we have relative units. Relative units are the VW and the VH. So relative units of VW relative to the viewport's width, how wide it is from edge to edge. So a value of 1 VW is equal to 1% of the viewport's width. So that can go to 1 to 100. So 50% would be 50% of the viewport's width, whatever that is. Then we have a selection called VH. That's relative to the viewport's height. So again, a value of 1 VH is equal to 1% of the viewport's height. 100 would be 100% of the viewport's height, whatever that is. Okay, so let's go back to the WordPress. So back in WordPress, we see this is on the height setting, the VH, and it's set to 100. So we want 100% of the height of this image. Now, if I move the scale back, you see the height changes. So right now I'm at 59%. And if you don't want to show the whole height, you can show it a different size. Let's put it back at 100. And then we have alignments here. This is set on default. It could be top, middle, bottom, spaces. These refer to the column, so we're not going to be concerned with that right now. So let's we have these basic settings here. We don't need to be concerned about structure, wrapper, link, or anything like that. So let's go to the image that I chose to replace this image. Okay, this is the fictional aerial drone photography service image that I chose. And when I went to download this image, this is a free image, I was giving some options here for download. First was 3,882 pixels by 2,184, which had a size of 4.5 megabytes. Now that size is way too big for a web page. It's going to take a while for that to download. People don't want to wait around for images to appear on the screen, and the few seconds it would probably take for this to appear, people may already move down the page before that image comes out. So you want to get the file size as low as possible without compromising the quality of the image. The next option was 1920 by 1080, which is a common screen size for computers or laptops. And this is 1 megabyte, much, much smaller. Now let me explain the difference between megabytes and, up here, kilobytes. Kilobyte is smaller than a megabyte. Kilo means 1,000. Actually means 1,024, but most of the time it's rounded to 1,000. So 1,000 kilobytes is equal to 1 megabyte. So if we look at here at 4.5 megabytes, that is 4,500 kilobytes. So that gives you some idea of the disparity between these image sizes here. Then the one I chose to download with is 1280 by 720, which is a good size for the area that we're going to work with on our website, hero image. This is 484 kilobytes. Now the smaller size is 640 by 360. That could be used in another area of your website where there's a smaller image. That's only 147 kilobytes. So that's too small for our purposes. For a hero image, it's going to go the whole width of the screen. Now, once you have that, you can also change the pixels by using some other applications that are probably on your computer, whether you have a Windows-based computer or a Mac. You can change this size also. All right. After you download the image, you can further compress it by going to an application on the web called tinyjpg.com. You can further compress JPEG or PNG files. PNG is a little bit higher quality and a little bit larger in size. But these are the two most common images used on the web. And you can, if you have more than one image, you can drag up to 20 images at a time in here, and then it will compress them, and then you supply them with an email, and they're emailed to you. This is a free service. If you have a lot to compress, there's a paid service for it. So when I compressed the image that I had, it only compressed it a little bit more. So it went from about, I think it was 484 was the original. Yeah, 484. It went down to 424. So it didn't go down a lot, but every little bit helps. Okay, there are also some image optimization plugins for WordPress that you can use. So if you have a lot of images, this is real helpful. That the images that you upload to WordPress, it'll automatically start compressing those images. So here's some of the most popular ones: Smush, EWWW, Image Optimizer. I don't know what the WWW stands for, but ShortPixel, Optimus, and Imagify. This is the one that I use most often because I have the paid version. I believe all of these have free and paid versions. Okay, the paid version is going to compress a little bit more than the free ones, and maybe have some other options, of course. Okay, so let's go back to our WordPress site. And to change this image, we're going to go over from layout to style. So here's the current image. Now, you may notice that this image looks a little brighter than the image that's over here. And if we go back into WordPress and we look at the media library and see this original image, here it is over here, you can see it's a much brighter image than what we're seeing here. So let's see how they changed this. This came with the theme. So what we have to do is scroll down here to where it says background overlay. And this is colors that you can overlay over the original image. And this is usually done to darken the image, or it could be used to lighten the image. So they chose a color here that's almost black, not quite. And they have a second color that's kind of a bluish color over here. So they blended those two together. You can have radial or you can have linear. You can see how it changes a little bit. The position is on center. There's lots of choices. Here's the most important area, the opacity. Now this is set to 0.5. So if I move this forward for more opacity, you can see it gets darker with those colors. If I move it back, if we move it back to 0, it looks like the original picture. So you can see why they wanted to darken this, because we have text overlaying it. And there's not enough contrast between this white text. Let me get rid of this. This white text and this light background. So when I put it back to, it was 0.5, you can see there's a lot more contrast, and it gives this kind of a misty look to it. It makes it look a lot different than the original. So that's what you can also do if you want to overlay text on it, on your image. If it's real bright, you might want to darken it a little bit. And that's how you do it over here in the background overlay. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to the image, and let's change this image. We can remove this image here, and notice it still has the same text over here. And then we're going to choose an image from our media library. If you don't have it on here yet, you can go to upload file. So I've already uploaded this one, and this is 1280 by 720. That's the image. That's the same size I downloaded, and that's about the same size as this image, the original one. This one is 1280 by 853, 1280 pixels wide, 853 length. So it's similar in size to this one. So we don't have to have it the exact size. It's going to scale it. So we're going to insert this image. Okay, so now we have our image here. And it's looking pretty good, just like it is. And we still have our background overlay here. We still have this set with these two colors. Now, let's say that we eliminate the second color, and we get more of the green here, and opacity, let's move it a little bit brighter. Let's see how that looks. Okay, we have a light background here. It's still pretty good contrast, and now it's brightening. It's a little bit brighter. It's brightened up a little bit. If we have it all the way bright, like the original, you can see there's not enough contrast with the text here. So that's why we want to darken it a little bit. You know, somewhere like this. And you can play around that and see how it looks. We still have a transparent header. Okay, so if you wanted to change that header the way it looks and not be transparent anymore, there's a way that you can do that. Let's go back over to layout. But you're not going to find it in here. Okay, that's a different setting. So let me show you how that is done. We're going to go back over here. We're going to go to Appearance and Customize. And we'll wait till that loads. So here's our image, but we haven't saved it or anything. So this is the original. So we have global settings. We have header. So let's go to header and see where it says transparent header. And it says now we can enable this transparent header on the complete website, but this is not enabled. You can enable on desktop and mobile. So if you only want it on desktop or you only want it on mobile, you can choose that. So this is set to both. You can have a different logo for the transparent header. You can change the logo. You can change the bottom border size, the background, all kinds of different things. But what we don't see here is how to disable this setting. Again, this is for modifying the transparent header, but again, this is not where you actually turn the transparent header on or off. And this is, I know this is a little bit confusing, but we have to do this in another area. So we're going to close this. And we're going to go to Pages. We're going to see all the pages here. And we're going to go to the home page, but we're not going to edit it with Elementor. We're just going to go to Home. Okay, so now on this right side, we see this block over here. And it has a lot of different options. And these are the theme options. Because remember, I use the Astra settings. So here's the theme options. And here's the current layout. It's full width stretched. That overrides any other setting that's in an Elementor. So a theme setting is going to override what's in your, your theme setting is going to override your page builder setting. Now here we get down to here at the bottom, and you may not be able to see this, so let me go to another screen. And at the bottom of that screen, under Astra settings, we have a place down here that says transparent header, and it's on enabled. Now if we change that to disabled, then that's going to disable it. So let's go back over there. So if we disable it and update it, and we reload this. No, I didn't save the image there, but so now we don't have the transparent header over here. We just have the regular header with a white background. Our logo disappeared because the logo was made out of a white, so that just blends in here. So if we wanted to keep this, we'd have to change the color of that logo. Okay, so if I wanted to go back and change that to enabled, update it, and refresh this page again, then we have the transparent header again, and we can see the logo. So again, if you want to change the background image, we go to Edit Section. We don't use the image widget. We go to Edit Section, Style, remove the image, choose the image we want from the media library, click on that, insert, and now we have our new image. And make sure you click update down here to save what you've done. Otherwise, if you get out of it, it's not going to save it. Okay, so that's basically how you create the perfect hero image for your website. Hope this helps, and we'll see you next time. Have a blessed day.